This is December 27th, 1998. It's Mom's birthday, actually. And we're at Pat Beck's house in Fargo, and Great-Grandma's here. And we're just going to ask her a few questions and learn all about her life. And the whole family is here.
Somebody can sit here.
Plus Pat and Great-Grandma, and my grandma and Grandpa Beck are going to be here later on today.
Yeah, it's a little closer so I can understand you.
Yeah. Well, I kind of wanted to start out by asking you about your parents, and you told us a little bit about your mom.
Oh,
Do you mind telling us about your mom again?
My mother was so good. I really never ever know her slapping anybody. My dad was different. He was stricter.
Is that right?
He was from Germany, and he read German papers all the time. He'd sit in the dining room and read them. We lived in a big house, there's big rooms, and so our kitchen was real big, and us kids all had a big kitchen, played the kitchen and everything. And he'd sit in the little dining room and then read his papers. Then he expected us kids to be real quiet. That was impossible. There were 10 girls in the family and 3 boys.
How many boys?
And, pardon?
How many boys?
3 boys.
10 girls and 3 boys.
Yeah.
Grandma had 16 children, didn't she? 3 died when they were infants.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
And Mama worked so hard, and she was real easygoing that way. But Dad was real different, because he'd call a few times. We had to keep quiet, and that was impossible when there's that many little ones. and
Did you speak German at all when you were growing up?
We always talked German at home.
Yeah.
When we went to school, we didn't know any English.
Oh.
And when they came from Germany, Dad, he had 6 brothers, I think. Either 6 boys or, yeah, I think there were 6 boys. And then they got married after they were up here in North Dakota, and they all settled on the same place. When we went to school, all the kids in school were our cousins. Everybody was related.
Did your mother come from Germany too, or was she?
No, she came from Wisconsin.
What was her name?
Miller.
The first name?
Mary Miller.
Mary Miller.
Yeah.
Oh, I never heard that Miller name before.
And there seems to be some discrepancy in how it's spelled, whether it's M-I-L-L-E-R or M-U-E-L-L-E-R. And you'll see it both ways, and Raj seems to think somewhere along the line it was changed.
Yeah, Mueller would be the German.
Do you remember how it was spelled?
No, I'm not sure. I've just heard him talk about it.
I think
Not agreeing.
It was maybe M-I-L-L-E-R, but I don't know for sure.
Why don't you tell us again about your mother and the hard work that she did?
The spinning wheel.
She could do everything, and she did everything so perfect. She did.
Well, that's pretty good.
In the house too, we had a big. They lived in a smaller house first. My dad was a carpenter, and then the family got so big, then he had to build a bigger house. And then my dad built the house himself, and then he built a real big house. Where at that time they had great big kitchens. Our kitchen was about as big as the living room. What he built then in the kitchen. When they scrub it, there's hardwood floor in it, and they'd always scrub it up. They'd get on their knees with brushes and scrub that hardwood floor. And that was hard work. I was younger then, and I didn't get in on that so much with the older girls did. And so, but she always kept everything. And when the house was clean, she was always there. She'd never boss much or anything, but she was always there to see that everything got done just right. They had to take all the mattresses down the steps, and then they pound them outside.
No vacuum cleaners, huh? No vacuum cleaners,
No,
huh?
no vacuum. We had those dusters, those wire things. And that's what they did, and then they leave them down there for, in the afternoon for quite a while anyway, and then they take it back up again. But then they have to clean the spring, the springs were all high, and then they had all these double deals in.
Coils in?
So yeah, and then there was a lot of cleaning, dusting on those. That house dusted. No, the house cleaned, there was everything clean. And she was always there, and then when the room would be clean, then she would always hang something on the door on the inside, on the knob, and she'd have some disinfectant in there for disinfecting the rooms. And then they'd wash the walls and everything. They were all painted.
Wow.
And then they'd all get washed with soap water, and so everything got really clean, so good. And she was always there to see, but she never said much, but then they knew what they had to do, and she always finished up, though. She was always there to see what got done. You know, she was so neat with everything, and really a good housekeeper.
Did you ever have bed bugs or lice or anything like that?
We didn't have that. Mama wouldn't let us go a lot of places. We had a lot of cousins living there, plus there was already relatives there, and a lot of them had a lot of like bed bugs. And she'd never let us go there to sleep because they said you just bring those bed bugs home. So always they kept everything pretty clean. When Nick moved to Minnesota, then Mama said I should go along herself. She used to clean the house. Indians had lived in that house, and it was so dirty. We had to take the mop boards and everything off to clean it. And there was just loaded with bed bugs, and then in the back of those boards, you know. Scrub all those boards out and get rid of those bed bugs and stuff. Oh, that was dirty. Just terrible.
Can you imagine cleaning behind your mop
Well, the
boards and
Indians-
coils in your box spring?
Indians weren't very good people. They had a big barrel standing in the kitchen. Oh, it must have been like a 30-gallon barrel in the corner. And then they'd throw everything, what they'd throw out, like they'd throw it in that barrel, then they'd just dump it in there and it just splashed all up the wall, all up to the ceiling. Oh, that house was so dirty, you can't believe it. We scrubbed and worked on that house. No, they weren't the neatest people by any means.
Did you have trouble with head lice? How did you manage that?
Well, Mama would be always there Saturdays. We all got our hair washed every Saturday. But other times too, she'd think that anybody had any bugs in their hair, she'd always have a fine comb, and then she'd wash the hair, and she'd keep on going through with that fine comb to get eggs and everything out of those hair. No, she sure fussed with that stuff.
Did they use kerosene?
Yeah, she did sometimes put kerosene in the water. And then you had to wash it. Not a lot, but enough for it would kill the bugs and stuff. Yeah. But she'd have fine combs and she'd comb her hair. No, our hair was always stuff.
Grandma, do you remember going to school?
Oh, yeah.
Did you walk?
Oh, we had a mile to school, yeah. But there's a lot of kids that 4 miles to school, they walk too. In the summertime, all they had was horses, and they were in the field with the horses. And then the kids all walked to school. Yeah, those that had 4 miles, they walked to school too. And that was a long way.
Yeah.
How much school did you complete?
They just eighth grade was all we had.
And that was in
We
Cali,
just had
wasn't
eighth grade school. We had good teachers though. We really, and we had music and everything in school. And then they came out from Langdon, they came out and they was going to stop us from having, I guess it was music.
Huh.
We didn't have any music in school anymore. But then the teacher just left it go till after 4 o'clock and we had music in
There you go.
4 o'clock, we do what he wanted with the school. We always had Mary teach. They had a house built right on the school. They had 2 rooms upstairs and a living room and a kitchen downstairs. And then the teachers would be teaching their families were living there.
Well, which school was that? Did you go to school in Callio?
No, we didn't go to
Trier?
school in Callio. This was, let me see, about 4 miles from Callio.
Was it Trier Township School?
Trier, yeah. It
Okay.
was at least 4 miles from the school by Callio.